Alright guys, we're going to move on to perks. I'm going to start off with Pistol Auto Zoom. And this perk is the worst perk in the game, okay? No one uses it. It's flawed in its nature. You guys made it so that it zooms in gradually when you aim. And I kind of see why you tried to do that. Making it so you could at least have some effort of killing someone at close range. But it's too weird and it doesn't fit well. It should have just been an auto zoom. It should have been instantaneous as soon as you aimed your gun. Pretty simple. That's all you guys have to do to fix that. The next one is a huge one which shouldn't even exist in this game. It's a DLC perk. Everyone knows it. Bomb Expert 3. Now, Bomb Expert is it's a cool perk at its core. Like, I like Bomb Expert 1 and 2. But 3 is where you guys drop the ball. You should never have made it so that you could survive your own stuns. That just ruins everything that makes the game fun. What you should have done instead was make Bomb Expert 3. You should have made it so that your smoke stuns lasted like 1.5 seconds longer. Something to that degree. You should never have been able to survive your own stuns. Plain and simple. Alright, and this next one is a huge one. I hate this perk. I hate it more than Bomb Expert 3. And why? It's because it's been in the game since release, and it's just an abomination to this game. I'm talking about Sharpshooter. Now, when I started playing this game, I thought Sharpshooter only applied to scoped weapons because of the picture and everything. I didn't really read it. I didn't really use it. But that's what I thought right off the bat. Then I was watching some YouTube videos years ago, and I realized, no, it counts for every single weapon that you use, essentially. And I could even, like, shorties and stuff. I couldn't believe it. You guys need to take this perk out completely, because it completely ruins the game. You guys created a game that's slower paced, and to compensate for it being slower paced, you added in damage recoil and weapon bloom for the person shooting. Now that makes sense. What doesn't make sense is you guys throwing in a perk that nullifies all of those assets of the game, all those parts of the game, and then on top of that, rewards you immensely for getting a headshot. You get 15 health for the first level, second level, and then 25. You get a quarter of your health back for landing one headshot. And with overpowered weapons like the 3 burst and the variable, like the 3 burst, it's so easy to get headshots because of like I was saying, the nature of the weapon, the shoot up recoil. It's so easy to land a headshot, and you should have at least made it so you could only get 25 health from one button press. But no, you can get 75 health from one button press from a 3 burst. That is insane, and it makes any decent player using an overpowered weapon almost unstoppable when you add this perk. Oh man, it's disgusting. I hate this perk because I can outshoot someone off the bat, they'll turn around and mow me down. And I've done it. I've asked people their kit in-game when I've outplayed them, and then they turn around and kill me like I'm nothing. I've asked them their kits in-game, and they're like, oh yeah, Sharpshooter. Like, come on. This is a stupid perk. It's disgusting. It nullifies everything the game is based around, and then rewards you for getting headshots like mad. And it makes you like almost unstoppable if you have any skill. At least either make it, you could nerf this perk so that either you only get health from one button press at the most, or make it so it only applies to scope weapons, but you got to adjust this perk or just take it out. It's really stupid. Give everyone in the game Sharpshooter 1 maybe and take it out. I don't know. It needs to go. I hate it. It's the worst perk ever. Essentially, Sharpshooter 3 is a game-breaking perk that allows less skilled players to dominate over higher skilled players because of a handicap noob perk. It's take it out, please. It's horrible. It's stupid. I can't even believe it's in the game, to be entirely honest. Alright, and the next two perks I'm going to talk about, they just need some slight adjustments. Strategist, I love this. I love this perk. I think it's a bit underrated, but people have gradually grown to accept how good it is, especially competitively with the spawning. But I think you guys should adjust it so that downed enemies don't affect your spawn. You'll be trying to spawn on someone, and they'll down someone who they're fighting, and you won't be able to spawn on them until that person bleeds out, and that's dumb. Just allow them to spawn if there's no threat in the vicinity, and everyone's downed. A downed enemy should not stop that. And then finally, Explosion Expert. It's a great perk. You just need to apply it to the flamethrower. The flamethrower is actually underpowered, but the reason I didn't mention it above in weapons is because all you guys need to do is make Explosion Expert, make it apply to the flamethrower so that the flamethrower has a longer range and its flames release is a little bit faster. And that way, the flamethrower could actually be devastating if you wanted to apply perks to it. It could be way better, and it wouldn't just be, underpowered like it is right now. All you need to do is make Explosion Expert apply to the flamethrower. Alright guys, now I'm going to be listing some ideas I've had for additional perks that Naughty Dog can add in. And some of these are going to be pretty wild, but just bear in mind, they're just suggestions that could be explored. I don't think all of these altogether would really be the best fit, but these are just stuff I've come up with and thought might be interesting. So, a martial arts perk. Basically, it would allow you to melee faster, and as you level it up, it would grant you less flinch delay from damage while you're getting shot at. You also could have the Shiv prompt as a feature of this perk appear at a little wider angle than normal, and also a little further back. So basically you could shift someone a little easier at varying degrees with this perk as one aspect of it. And then another perk, Commando. You start with 25% more large firearm ammo. Obviously make this, you only had pistols, and I understand that, but if this perk, just make it so that it costs enough points, basically. So start with 25% more large firearm ammo. You could have that be 3 points, something like. You got to balance it with loadout points if you're gonna put it in. This is a cool one that I was thinking about. It's an engineer perk. You could actually see placed bombs on your radar, kind of like Strategist 2. And, I don't know, you could explore the ability of having light step, having them trigger a little later for you or something. Maybe the ability of hacking them and turning them into your own bombs. I don't know, that's just a suggestion. Maybe make light step a different perk that doesn't trigger bombs. It delays the triggering of a bomb when you go near it. The engineer perk, something else that'd be really cool, is if you were granted the ability to craft a drone or something. So you'd be given the ability to pick up different crafting items that wouldn't be available without this perk. So you could pick up gears, scrap metal, and maybe a battery or something. And once it got all these parts, which you could monitor separately and just make it so they have to go to a certain number of lockboxes, but you could eventually build a drone that's obviously slower than Call of Duty drones in that, and a little not as agile, but basically it has a 9mm gun on it and a decent fire rate, and you could drive that around. I think that would give a cool variability to the game. Not variability, it'd bring more dynamics to the gameplay, and considering how popular drones are today, it seems like something that could happen if this game actually happened. People could improvise and make drones. So I think it'd be a cool perk. I think it'd be something cool to explore. A perk called Silent Call would be really cool, and it would allow you to mark people without giving away your position as directly as it is now. Because in Last of Us number 1, marking would be it's detrimental to yourself when you're playing stealth to mark people, because you just give yourself away. So it'd be cool to have a perk that nullifies that and allows you to be more stealthy. And you could add in like bird calls or hunting calls to make it more authentic in the game. So it's not like you're just giving away your position all the time. This is a really cool one that I think that would be interesting in the game, and it's called the Tracker perk. It's essentially where you go into your listen mode and you can see people's breath as, say, green or something. You can see breath if someone's been somewhere recently, and you can follow the trail to try and track them. And as you level it up, you can see footprints on the ground, and the time it takes for that stuff to disappear gets a little longer as you rank it up, so they last a little longer. And I think it'd be a really cool way of counteracting covert and that sort of thing. And I think it fits the world pretty well. Maybe have something that counteracts. If you're gonna keep Sharpshooter in the game, which I hope you don't, but you might. If you do keep that in, you should have a perk that's like a stopping power perk or magnum rounds or something, so that it can increase the damage wobble of your gun to a degree, but only have that in there if you're going to keep Sharpshooter. Otherwise, you don't really need it. Another interesting perk I was thinking about was it's like a tinkerer, kind of like an engineer perk, something like that, or gunsmith. I guess like a gunsmith perk where you could modify you could use up all your ammo for your main gun. Say you're using a full auto as your main weapon and a 9mm as your secondary, and you had this perk on, you could either before or after you ran out of ammo, you could go into your backpack and craft something on your pistol so that you can easily take the ammo from your pistol and give it to your main weapon. Because the 9mm and full auto basically use the same thing. So it'd be like a tinkering perk or a gunsmith perk, where you could allow your pistol ammo to be transferred to your main weapon. And finally, just as an addition to one of the perks that exist, it'd be cool if you added a 4th level to Lucky Break, made for 5 points, that allowed lockboxes to spawn like 20 or 25% faster than normal. Alright guys, that pretty much does it for The Last of Us 2 perks for my wish list. If you enjoyed it, if you agreed with what I said, please go send it to Naughty Dog, because there's no point in even making this stuff, really, if Naughty Dog doesn't see it. I'll have a comment in my comment section pinned so that I can put additions and stuff like that. Same as the first one. Links for Naughty Dog are in the description. Thanks a lot guys, I'll see you in the next one.